What's going on, YouTube? Things are a little different today. Clearly, I'm not at my computer because it's over there. And my office is a bit of a mess right now because I was in the middle of shooting videos and building a computer back there, as you can see. So we are just kind of relaxing a little bit here in my computer chair. And I'm going to go ahead and answer a couple of questions. People have been asking me. One, people want to know what's the medication that I'm on because I talked about the medicine that I'm taking could cause what they didn't say weight gain, but it said abnormal fluctuations in weight. And one of my subscribers is a nurse, and she hadn't heard of that with that medication, but it's right on the informational insert about the medication, as well as if you go and do not Wikipedia, but you go and do a medical search on this medication, it does mention that. So, also too, some people wanted to know what my sorry, I'm moving the camera around here because I don't know exactly how I want to hold the damn thing. Doing this from my iPhone, it's going to be an iPhone upload, obviously. But also, people want to know what is my thoughts and take on the incident that happened yesterday in Boston. Go ahead and start with the medication. I am an insomniac. I don't sleep, and I will go sometimes days without getting more than a couple of hours at the most, and even those are not like healthy amounts of sleep, or I take that back. They're not REM or deep sleep whatsoever, so it barely counts as rest, let alone rejuvenation. So I finally broke down and went to the doctor and got medication, and it's kind of a dual-purpose medication because of that depression vlog I did a few weeks back. It is an antidepressant, but it's an antidepressant that they prescribe for sleep disorders, as well as I need to empty my trash over there. Holy crap! As well as sleep disorders and antidepressant. So it's kind of like a two-in-one or a twofer. And so I've already taken the pill tonight, and so I'm gonna probably start getting a little bit like not really incoherent, but I'd say my thoughts are gonna start getting worse than they are at the moment. Anyway, so that's what the medication is, and we'll see what happens. I've been on it. Tomorrow will make a week, and I don't want to make any judgments based on the first week. I've definitely felt better. I've definitely gotten my sleep. This medication turns me into a zombie inside of 15 minutes of taking it. Only because of being a gastric bypass patient, I metabolize it very fast. I get it into my bloodstream very, very quickly. And so, whereas the pharmacist said it could take up to 2 hours to work, I think for me it takes 10 to 15 minutes tops. So I better be quick with this vlog. The attack in Boston. I'm just going to go ahead and myself call it a terrorist attack because let's face it, the entire purpose of that situation, that event, was somebody's desire to cause panic, terror, damage, harm, whatever. And whether this person turns out to be with some sort of an affiliated group or a terrorist organization or not, or it's just a one person, they cause terror. So I'm going to refer to this as a terrorist attack because it doesn't deserve any other classification as far as I'm concerned. But other than that, what is there really to say? I mean, I've been thinking about it, and we have colleagues, and my company has an office in Boston, and I travel to it several times a year, and I've been on Boylston Street many, many times. Boylston runs along the Commons, along the Boston Common, and I've been there I don't know how many times. In fact, every time I go to Boston, I make it a point to go to Park Street and go to the Commons and go to the shopping in the alleys there, and it's a huge tourist spot, and whoever did this knew that there was going to be a lot of people there, and they intended to cause harm. That's the world we live in today. I think we as Americans are used to hearing about that sort of stuff happening abroad. It's like an everyday occurrence in Iraq. It happens everywhere in the Middle East every single day. It happens in Russia. Well, maybe not Russia as often, but those types of things do happen in Russia, Syria, Egypt, Libya, obviously Afghanistan, Iraq, the whole Gaza Strip thing. It's everyday life to the Middle Eastern culture to have those types of sidewalk bombings. And I think the rest of the world kind of looks at America, at least the non-Western world kind of looks at America and it's like, what's the big deal? You guys, the very same day, yesterday, there was a bombing in Iraq, a public bombing that killed 30 people. So I think we as Americans are not used to this sort of thing happening on our own doorstep, especially post 9/11. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of our security has become complacent, and this type of thing, it was definitely a crime of opportunity, because they knew that they could pull it off, and they did. I feel bad for the next generation and the generations after me, because I hope that our government gets their shit together and somehow finds a way to protect its citizens a little more. There's those out there that will say that this was some sort of a conspiracy, or this was some sort of an inside job again, and that's going to happen no matter what. People believe Sandy Hook was an inside job. People think Aurora, Colorado was an inside job. People think that 9/11 was an inside job. You're never going to stop those people. And whether you believe in those conspiracy theories or not, the bottom line is people are getting hurt. People are getting killed. And, I saw the video, of little kids there and parents, grabbing up their kids and running. And there was that, the runners that were running, the father or the husband and wife that were running with their kid in the stroller, and it blew up literally right next to them. Fortunately, they weren't hurt. And it makes me think about my kid. And, this definitely isn't a world that I want her to grow up in. And my wife and I have been talking a lot about, having child number 2. And it just is a scary thought of bringing another child into this crazy world that we live in. But fortunately, for every crazy deed there was so much more that goes on in this world that's not recognized when it comes to the good things that happen. But let's face it, just like the haters on YouTube, the hate has a louder voice than the support. I almost kind of feel like it takes 5 good comments to negate every one negative comment. And that's the way the world is. And that's the world we live in today. And as much as it sucks, whether you're from Canada or Mexico, England, Brazil, Germany, Switzerland, it doesn't matter. This is our world. And things are clearly changing. And I just hope that the generations to come are willing to step up to the plate to fix the things that our generation's breaking. And that's why I feel very bad for my daughter and her kids, because I really, really feel like a lot of people running the world today are ruining it for our ancestors. Kind of got maybe a little bit off topic or a little bit off track. But I think it all ties together in the sense that, what happened really sucks, but it's becoming a hell of a lot more common.